Hello, it's me, the Avatar Fanatic, and today we will be talking about who is the most powerful Red Lotus member. If you like this video, please make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell down below. Also, make sure to share this video to your friends so it helps grow the channel. Also, make sure to watch this video first, but before this, I released who's the most powerful White Lotus video, a sequel to this one. So obviously, we have again 5 to 6 members of the Red Lotus, as we did with the White Lotus. Now, obviously, we won't have guys who didn't really fight, like Aiwei, who was like that one guy who was like a spy in like Su Yin's sort of area. We make sure that we don't use those sort of people, but we're gonna mention all of them. So first, we're gonna mention Puli. I mean, Puli is an absolute savage again. She's very good at bending. She's using the combustion technique, as in combustion out of her face combustion. She is using her eyeball to basically win multiple battles. You see in the battle versus Zuko and Tonrock, you just see how much of a savage she is. I mean, she held them at bay for long enough for Ming Hua to come in and really change the course of the battle there. But she's just an incredible bender who has much better alertness than Combustion Man ever did. I mean, she's an absolute savage when it comes to that. She's really good at finding out how to get little angles to sort of attack people. Next, we're going to use Ming Hua as an example. Again, Ming Hua, she has her like tentacle arms, kind of like an octopus, where she just uses characters. She can wrap them up in water somehow. Somehow the characters don't fall through, and like she can like slam them around. She grabs Mako with like this sort of grip and just flung him like to a wall. I mean, this girl is like a little killer. I mean, just could just destroy people. And yeah, I mean, she's just too good for a lot of the time for certain benders. I remember she fought Kaya on an occasion, and whenever she fought people, you could just tell that she's very good. They fought Desna and Eska, and she just completely iced them up and just destroyed them instantly. I mean, like, she just was too fast for them with her sort of Spider-Man sort of approach, where she was just looping around and just going side by side with her tentacle arms, and she was just able to just destroy people. Next is my favorite Red Lotus member, and Ghazan. Ghazan is an absolute just menace. I mean, this guy can like conjure up lava into like shuriken stars. I mean, like, this guy's a killer. He was able to like lava bend like buildings and just make them just collapse. I mean, he collapsed Ba Sing Se's wall, like a whole like block of it, like a huge block of it. Like, that is some strength. Like, he is like one of the stronger earthbenders that we ever see, period. And I think he's quite underrated, because, you know, even when he fights Bolin, I mean, he beats him twice, really. I mean, like, the first fight was easy for him, and the second fight was more of a fight, but he still probably edged until Mako came in after he beat Ming Hua. It just shows how good benders are, like, in general. Like, you see across the show, Bolin and Mako come in, and you see them build up their skill, and these guys are still edging them out in battles, because these guys are grown-ups and they're just uber talented and just are so resourceful in battle that they can make everything work, and they're very powerful while doing it. Next, we're gonna have our surprise here in Unalaq. Now, Unalaq isn't technically a Red Lotus member in the show, but I did want to put him in here because he is a former Red Lotus member Zaheer states this in a show. It's canonically true. Um, just he got too power hungry and started going to be the Dark Avatar, and obviously Zaheer didn't want that. Unalaq is just a straight up menace when it comes to fighting. I mean, we're not counting Unavatu or whatever, but we're just counting Unalaq on his own. You see in fights versus Tonrock, he's just barely better than him, but man, Tonrock is one of the most underrated benders out there. He's better than him. He positionally outmaneuvered him. He was very good in reactions. He's very good in bending itself. He makes these big sorts of water bending units, and he just makes people's lives trouble, especially against Korra. Even before he turns into Unavatu, he fights her, and he's able to get to be Unavatu because he's able to sort of get her out of the way for a certain amount of time, which just shows his strength, right? And finally, we have Zaheer. Now, Zaheer is a really interesting one because he's the leader of the group, really. Um, and he's not refined in bending. He's not even initially a bender. He has the ability, once harmonic convergence happens, to airbend. Now, he's just an absolute, just speedster when it comes to airbending. He can fly. I mean, he got out of a jail without even knowing any airbending. I mean, he obviously knew techniques reading off of the Guru Lahima books and stuff like that, but and other books, of course. But he beat White Lotus guards just easily. People who've been bending all their lives, and he just beat them like in a snap of a finger. That just shows how crazy talented he is in the art of airbending. Now, I would argue his techniques aren't as defined, but they very well could be stronger because they're more unique, like flying and like stuff that people can't defend as easily. Now, we have 5 contestants here. In 5th place, I will put Pali. This is a tough choice for me to make because I do like Pali. She's probably my least favorite Red Lotus member, so there might be a hint of bias in this. I just don't think that she's just as powerful as the rest. I think she's very strong. I just don't think she's as powerful as the rest, and I do think combustion bending can be very destructive, but is often very overrated in terms of strength itself and power. Obviously, it's more concentrated rather than a collective power, if that makes sense. In 4th place, I will put Zaheer in terms of strength. Zaheer, again, you can argue his moves are stronger. He's just not as refined in bending as the rest. He's a step faster, but he's a skill slower, you know. And obviously skill in a long, drawn out sort of, let's say, fight in terms of power, Zaheer would probably lose. In terms of talent, he might be first in terms of actual fluency with the sort of art of bending, his certain type of bending that he can bend, it's last. It's second last, to be fair. In 3rd place, we have Ghazan. Ghazan, I told you he's underrated. Most people probably would have put him 4th or 5th. I put him 3rd. Why? Because Ghazan is a savage. He's my favorite Lotus member, Red Lotus member. And the reason is because lava bending is so underrated, and I love lava bending, and it's so special because only few benders have it. Roku, him, Bolin, who else has it? No one. Why? Because Ghazan's a savage. That's why. 2nd place, Ming Hua. Absolute killer. Again, just could absolutely destroy you with their spider thingies. I personally don't like her that much in terms of the Red Lotus members. I think she's probably my 2nd least favorite. Still, she's 2nd strongest. I'm not going to put any bias. I'm going to put bias aside there. She's just stronger than people like Zaheer and people like Pali for sure. Ghazan, you can argue. I just don't think so. 1st place, Unalaq. I don't think it's much of a surprise. He's been waterbending his whole life. I mean, the guy is just a straight up savage. I mean, if you can beat Tonrock in a battle, I'd say Tonrock is probably stronger than any of the Red Lotus members. So if you can beat Tonrock, you're stronger for sure than any of the Red Lotus members. Or slash former, because he's a former, but he's just the strongest one, and I think this one is definitely more clear cut than the White Lotus members, where um, we had multiple people that you could say is really the strongest Red Lotus member. Overall, what are your thoughts in the comments down below? Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell down below. Make sure to also share it to a friend, and this is me, the Avatar Fanatic, out.